What's going on? It's she, the Wise. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. It's the Book of Boba Fett Episode 6 preview for tonight's watch party. Oh yeah, be there or be square. Come by around 11:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be watching the Book of Boba Fett Episode 6. And I gotta say, as we get into this preview for Episode 6, it has never been more hype in Star Wars before, baby. Let's go! Alright, let's head into the lair. Let's talk about this episode. We're going to be doing Star Wars Santa's predictions later on. The link is in the description below. Make sure you guys check it out if you want to do some predictions. See if you can beat me. I mean, I hope I can beat Star Wars Santa, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try and not to get too hyped tonight, because the hype level really is through the roof. Oh man, it's through the roof. I can't even talk. That's how excited I am, because this is going to be a great episode. Let's get in the lair. Let's talk about it so I can gather all my thoughts. Let's go. Welcome back to the lair, guys. I hope you're having a good one. I hope your week has been going solid. And I think tonight's episode is going to bump it up just a little bit more. For those of you guys watching the preview on Wednesday, I hope you can stay away from spoilers, because from what I've heard, potential spoiler alerts, there's going to be some big cameos, but we don't know who. We're going to be going over some of the latest Star Wars news, though, along with previewing Episode 6. And we're going to be talking about some tweets that have kind of coincided with that news and what we could potentially see in this episode, along with some of the stuff that actors such as Sam Witwer and Katie Sackhoff have been saying, along with the armorer herself, Emily Swallow. So let's get into the news. Let's talk about Episode 6. And man, where do we begin? So, as you all know, the first 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett really gave us the backstory as to what Boba was doing after Episode 6, my bad, after Return of the Jedi, as he was eaten by the Sarlacc, and we found out he was, became one with the Tusken tribe, and for about 5 years, he lived on the sands of Tatooine, and became one with the Tuskens. And then all of a sudden, after these 4 episodes of 70% flashbacks, where we learn a little bit about what's going on with the gang rival syndicate stuff and the Pikes and the war that's about to begin, and we have like little to no context about who is actually the big threat here other than the Pikes. And maybe it is as simple as the Pikes, although honestly I highly doubt that. But I think we might find out. We might find out tonight who the real big bad is. Even though last week, all of a sudden, as we're learning about, the past of Boba Fett, what's going on with the present, as we have thought we concluded with all these flashbacks, Din Djarin, what do you know, is stealing the show. Love that guy, by the way. He's a real legend. But let me know how excited you guys are, by the way, in the chat. I hope you guys are having a good one. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for tonight's episode? Because I'm an 11-7. But back to what I was saying. I think, after we saw Din Djarin, a whole episode dedicated to Din Djarin, here we are. What's going to come in Episode 6? Last week, we kind of ended with Din Djarin saying, I'm going to go see my little friend. Oh, yes. My little friend. My little green friend, right? And I think he's going to go see him. Now, the big question is, are we going to follow Din Djarin? Are we going to spend the entire episode again in a Book of Boba Fett series that was rumored to be The Mandalorian Season 2.5 in a way? Is it really going to be The Mandalorian Season 2.5? Are we really going to, is Lucasfilm ballsy enough to make a Boba Fett show and have half of it be Din Djarin? Well, honestly, I'm really hoping that tonight we get a little bit of a mix between two things. I want to see, of course, Din Djarin meet up with Grogu, giving him the chainmail made of Beskar, and maybe talking to Luke about a certain Darksaber. Who knows though? That might happen off screen, which would be tragic. A lot of people have been saying it's going to happen in The Mandalorian Season 3, and I'm going to say straight off the bat that ain't happening. It's either happening now or it's happening never. I'm just playing. No, what I really think is going to happen though, in terms of that, I think it's possible tonight that we get a little bit and piece of Din Djarin going to meet up with Grogu and Luke Skywalker. I think it's possible he gives Grogu the chainmail and we see that attachment that Grogu has with him. But Luke Skywalker, being a person who had attachments and was able to overcome them, could potentially pass that on to Grogu and teach him the ways of the Jedi, the true ways that Ahsoka kind of followed, more so than the dogmatic view of the Jedi Council. 6 hours. Oh, what's up? All right, I'm reading some of the chat here, but I want to see a little bit of both Din Djarin meeting Grogu and Luke, and then Boba Fett hiring some muscle. It was teased in episode 4 at the end that Boba Fett was going to go hire some muscle. He talked about how he had an endless supply of credits, basically. And then we see at the end of episode 5, as we followed Din Djarin, that he's going to be recruited by Fennec Shand. Maybe Fennec's been doing some recruiting already. Who really knows? Who knows how she even found Din Djarin on Tatooine in the first place? Random coincidence. Maybe, maybe the Power Rangers were scouting and, when they saw the Pikes, Din Djarin came in the same ship and they saw him or something. I don't know. But I think it's possible we could see, after Din Djarin even saying that he's going to do it for free, it's going to be kind of, he's paying him back for the favor he kind of was lended by Boba back in season 2 of Mandalorian. I think it's possible we see Boba hires some muscle. I think we're going to see the Empire Strikes Back lineup. I really do think we're going to see that tonight. It's been rumored that Dave Filoni wrote this episode, and we've also heard rumors from quite a while ago that Dave Filoni directed an episode, so we can kind of presume that this episode 6 of the Book of Boba, is going to be directed and written partially by Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, but maybe even directed by Dave Filoni. Now, if you guys remember the other episodes that Dave Filoni directed of The Mandalorian, were obviously the chapter 14, I think, or no, chapter, 13? With Ahsoka. That was an amazing episode. The Jedi, chapter 14, I believe, of The Mandalorian season 2, was amazing. And that was, of course, a cameo episode that brought in Ahsoka into the Mandoverse, led by none other than Dave Filoni. We also see, back in season 1 of The Mandalorian, one of the most slept on episodes of The Mandalorian, chapter 5. The chapter that brought in Fennec Shand, and also, at the end, teased Boba Fett's eventual return to Star Wars canon. As well as, I think Dave Filoni did another episode, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, now he does this episode. That's it. This will be the 3rd episode, I believe, he's directed for live action. I think. And I think it's possible that in this episode, we're going to get a whole bunch of cameos. Yeah. I think we're getting a bunch of them. And I don't want to set expectations too high, but I will say Professor Hulk, that's right, Professor Hulk, Nick Santos, a scooper on Twitter, a dude who is somewhat hit or miss, but he's a pretty good guy, and I think he might be true about what he says here. But Nick Santos, Professor Hulk, from that hashtag show, says episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett has so many insane cameos that I think people will be analyzing it for a few days just to digest them all. Oh, baby! Oh, baby! If that is true, I think we could get both. If this really is as big as Nick Santos is making it out to be, I think it's possible we could have 2 storylines in this episode, in which one of them is Din Djarin following Grogu, or, going to meet up with Grogu and Luke Skywalker, and then we get Boba Fett also hiring the lineup of bounty hunters and maybe even Kira at the end. And heck, if he's truly saying there's going to be an insane amount of cameos, so many insane cameos, maybe even along with Luke Skywalker, could potentially be Han Solo, who's been reported to be in the show as well, and maybe even his son, a 5-year-old Ben Solo, and maybe even Leia Organa herself. I don't know. There is no validity to this, but if Nick Santos is, hyping this up as much as he should be, as he is here, I think this could be the case, and maybe I'm just overhyping it. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think this is going to be an insane episode? Do you think Dave Filoni's writing is going to bring in more of his cameo characters? Do you think it's possible we could even see characters like Cad Bane along with the bounty hunter lineup from The Empire Strikes Back? I mean, characters like Bosk, Dengar, who his actor from the Clone Wars has even kind of referenced to wanting to play the character again. I mean, heck, even recently, Kevin McKidd, my apologies, Kevin McKidd, the actor who voiced Fen Rao in Rebels, was recently saying that he would love to play Fen Rao, and maybe even that was a reference to season 3 of The Mandalorian. But it was so cool to see him interacting with fans on Twitter and wanting to play the Fen Rao character. And I gotta say, he looks just like Fen Rao. I mean, there's no way they didn't do that on purpose. And I can't wait to see Kevin McKidd potentially play Fen Rao in season 3 of The Mandalorian, as he's hoping he will. So, those are the first two kind of Twitter updates we have. Nick Santos from that hashtag says episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett has so many insane cameos that I think people will be analyzing it for a few days just to digest them all. And Kevin McKidd is very interested in playing the Fen Rao character. Hey, Darth Chaos, how you doing, my guy? Jared Dyer. Sorry to the chat. I know I haven't been too active in here, but I'm gonna get to you guys real quick here. Let's get it. Mike Porter, my guy. Hey, legendary Mike Porter. I hope you're having a good day, my dude. Good to see you in the chat. Mike Porter says at the time chapter 5 was not well liked. Oh yes, back in Mandalorian season 1 it definitely was not, but it did eventually lead to Boba Fett's eventual return to canon. Darth Chaos says I hate to see them rush the war. Yeah, I feel like they're definitely maybe potentially rushing the war, and I don't know though, because I've kind of been thinking, what if we see the war kind of play out in The Mandalorian Season 3? How crazy would that be? Because, I don't know. It's just a thought I had. Maybe it'll be really rushed, and maybe it'll literally be them fighting against the Pikes. Which, I mean, at this point, Black K, Din Djarin, and, I don't know, Boba Fett and Fennec is literally all they need to defeat the Pikes in reality. Come on now. But, hey, we could see Luke Skywalker still with, Din Djarin going to find him. There's been some rumors on where that could potentially happen if we do see it in the series. And I will say, with all the rumors that Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, Grogu, all these dudes are potentially going to be in the show. Initially, I think at one point, none of us would have really believed that. But with everybody kind of coming out with different reports talking about it, I think it will definitely happen in either episode 6 or 7. And if it happens tonight, I think it's going to be Din Djarin kind of going over there. And I think we could see all of them. And there's 2 places I think they could be. Now, one of them is kind of based off another rumor that we would see Rex and Echo in this show, and those would be some insane cameos, as those characters are from animated series that not as many people would even watch, like Bad Batch or The Clone Wars or even Star Wars Rebels. So, I don't know if they're going to, bring in Rex or Echo, but I think it is possible they do kind of bring in some other crazy cameos like that. What's your favorite episode so far, says Jake Tandy. Jake Tandy, my favorite episode so far is episode 5. I'm a sucker for Din Djarin. I've always liked Din Djarin better than Boba Fett since we met Din Djarin. I feel terrible saying that because I've truly grown to love the Boba Fett character, especially throughout this show. I think my favorite episode other than that was either episode 4 or episode 2. I truly loved when they brought in Black K, and I loved seeing that Sarlacc scene where Slave 1 was, taking on the Sarlacc straight up. And of course, I liked watching the Slave 1 just absolutely decimate those Nikto speed biker dudes. That was freaking crazy. Yogurt is a Vespa gang member. Hey, Brian Stone, you're not wrong. Look out for Yogurt. You're going to slip in Yogurt, too. It's pretty wild. Star Wars 95 says, I don't think this show needs all the OT cameos. Cad Bane and Bosk, maybe Kira, but it's a little bit much. Plus, we have to consider Boba has claim to the Darksaber. Does he? Well, I don't know if Boba technically has claim to the Darksaber other than like lineage, because his dad barely had a claim to the Darksaber. I don't know if Jaster Moreel ever actually. Maybe Jaster Moreel was the Mandalore at one point, but I know he was the true Mandalorian, like leader of the true Mandalorians. And technically, it was Jango Fett who had a claim to the Darksaber, as he had defeated the previous owner of it. Although he didn't, I don't know if he ever really technically defeated him while he was the wielder of it. But it's a very big technicality. But we do know that Boba Fett came to, become Mandalore in Legends, and that was kind of even referenced in this past episode, episode 5 of the Book of Boba, when the armorer talked about the songs of eons past foretold a story of the mythosaur rising up to basically usher in a new kind of Mandalore era, basically. And that was, she said that that was only in Legends, and I think that was honestly a reference to Boba Fett, who has the mythosaur signet, rising up to become Mandalore in Legends. But I don't know, that might be a reach. It could be also a hint to him maybe potentially getting the Darksaber in the show. You're right. Hey, Obi-Wan the homie, aka Beskar Batman, it's good to see you. Mike mother flippin' Porter, yes sir, you already know. Ducky Momo says, so far every cameo has been well done. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume any cameo will be done right. I think Dave Filoni is the master at cameos. He's done it in Clone Wars. He already knows how these characters would fit in together. I think he truly is the apprentice of George Lucas, and maybe can even do it better than George did. I mean, just remember back in the day when George wanted to bring Darth Maul back, Dave Filoni's, well, like, how do you want me to do this? And George is like, I don't know. Figure it out. And Dave did. I mean, Dave Filoni has been dominating Star Wars for so long. I cannot wait to see what he does with this episode tonight. It's going to be a wild one. Hey, Tim, my brother, I hope you're doing good tonight. It's good to have you back, my brother. I love you, Tim. Much love, brother. Let's see what else is going on. You don't remember me? No. Of course I remember you, Jake Tandy. It's good to have you back, my dude. Hey, how was it getting shot in the face? Was it fun? Because I bet it was a fun time. How was that, dude? I honestly loved seeing that episode. It was really fun. I know maybe not as many people like that one, but I think I really did. And I loved seeing you get shot in the face, Jake Tandy. I gotta say. It was pretty epic. I hope you had fun with it, man. It was pretty dope to see you. Hope you're okay. Hey, yeah, much love. Alright, well, I do want to get into some of the other kind of news that came out of the last episode. It's more Twitter stuff. But it's fun Twitter stuff, as a lot of this is surrounding the actors that we all know and love from Star Wars. As Katie Sackhoff, that's right, Bo-Katan, had tweeted, Bo-Katan Kryze is a cautionary tale from the armor, and kind of, showed a picture of the armor with the Darksaber. Now, of course, this kind of buzzed on the internet. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people were retweeting it. And then Emily Swallow, the lady who is under the helmet of the armor, Emily Swallow quote tweeted and said, Rutro, looks like she heard me talking about her. Hashtag, this is the way. Oh yes, this is the way, Emily. And I don't know if you guys know, but Emily Swallow, the armor, the armor was part of Death Watch at one point. She is either a child of the Watch, I presume. I am predicting that the armor is likely either the daughter of Rook Kast or Rook Kast herself. Now, if you don't remember who Rook Kast is, back in the Clone Wars, she served under Darth Maul after he obtained the Darksaber and became technically the leader and ruler of Mandalore. Now, in this arc, it led to the death of of Obi-Wan and of Obi-Wan's lover, Satine. It led to the death of the former leader of Mandalore, Satine, who is also the sister of Bo-Katan. Now, it's possible this could be Rook Kast herself, who was one of the main people under Darth Maul, as we even see her golden helmet has horns on it, signifying that she was once either a member of Darth Maul's Death Watch clan, or that she still believes in the beliefs of that, and maybe her mom was Rook Kast, or maybe she is even one of the other Mandalorians that was part of that group. Now, this could mean that during the time between Rebels and now, in the Mandalorian timeline, that during that time, the Night of a Thousand Tears happened, and something along the line after the Siege of Mandalore led to the sect that believed in Darth Maul to going back to Concordia, their moon, and starting to develop the Way. Now, the Way was already kind of a thing. The Mandalorians have a long historied culture of war, and their culture is very well developed in war and has been around in a galactic kind of civil war of their own for quite some time. They've been around for 10,000 years over, as the armorer said, and they're going to continue to be around for quite some time as they're still finding ways to kind of survive. But there was some really funny kind of tweets and interactions along with what Katie Sackhoff said. And another person that kind of quote tweeted this was Sam Witwer. Now, if you don't know, Sam Witwer voiced Darth Maul himself in the Clone Wars. He also voiced Daddy Palpy, that's right, Sheev the Wise, He voiced Sheev in the Clone Wars as well, and also had a Legends game that had his likeness and was called The Force Unleashed. I'm sure many of you guys remember the Force Unleashed games, and of course many of us love Sam Witwer, one of the best actors and voice actors within Star Wars. We all love Sam Witwer, right? Well, Sam Witwer quoted this Katie Sackhoff tweet where she talks about Bo-Katan being a cautionary tale, and Sam says, yeah, says the lady still wearing horns on her helmet. Mad respect. Hashtag Mandalorians. And I think this is just even further proof that this is Rook Kast for sure. Maybe it's not. Maybe she's just a different member of the Mandalorians. But I mean, come on. It's gotta be her. And so, a good friend of the channel, if you guys don't know him, Hawks Holocron, runs a channel on YouTube. Scotty Hawk, my dude, he hit up Sam Witwer on Twitter, and big shout out to you, Scotty Hawk. He said, so the armor still follows Maul because he was the last person to win the Darksaber by combat. I'm not losing my mind, right, Sam Witwer? You're making fun of me, GIF, with Padme on the grass of of Naboo. But Sam Witwer replied, and he says, well, also I was a pretty great leader. Which is absolutely hysterical. Many of you guys may not understand, but Darth Maul led the Mandalorians. He had the Darksaber, and while he did, when he fought Ahsoka in the Siege of Mandalore, he tells them, it is not your way. It is not the way of your people to hide in the shadows as they're hiding in gutters in the sewers. He says, you guys should go die as warriors at my command and enjoy your honorable death. And they're going to die. He leaves them to hide in the shadows. And then when they go back to Concordia, or, they're scattered throughout the galaxy or whatever happens to them, now their way is to literally hide their numbers and hide in the shadows. What a great leader Maul turned out to be. Alright, I'll get back into the chat. I know you guys are probably tired as hell of me, but Ducky Momo says, yeah, she does. But that's too easy. I prefer irresponsible speculation. Of course, Ducky. We must speculate irresponsibly. Dab Matt says, what's up? Hey, what up, Dab Matt? Hope you're doing well. Daniel Fisher, but when Maul won the Darksaber, is the top better than... is the top the better half? Too soon? No, the top is definitely the better half. I mean, it's same with Anakin. You know, Obi-Wan just loves leaving these dudes without limbs. What a savage. What a savage that Obi-Wan is. Hey, Sheev, can we get a belly rub? Oh, man. Who am I? Josh Lucas? I don't know if... this is as high as my chair goes. My belly's like down here. I'll rub my belly, but you can't really see it. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like... It doesn't really work. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hey, good to see you here, Dad Man. Don't worry about it. All right, now that I've scarred half of the audience, let's talk about episode 6 a little bit here. I know we kind of did a little bit. I know we did. I know we talked about all the tweets and whatevers. But I mean, let's be realistic here. What are we actually going to see here tonight? Because honestly, everybody I've talked to, and I mean, I've talked to Star Wars Meg about this. I've talked about all sorts of people about what we could see in episode 6, and nobody has a freaking clue. I mean, this is honestly one of the best times to be a Star Wars fan, when there's so much hype surrounding an episode that blew our minds. And while it wasn't even surrounding Boba Fett, I mean, come on. Having some great Star Wars content is just what we need at this point, man. It is fantastic to have this atmosphere being so energetic within Star Wars, having the possibilities feel endless. I mean, getting content, it just feels so good, man. It just feels so good. So regardless of what does happen tonight, man, I think we're going to have a good time. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know if we're going to see Luke Skywalker in this episode or Grogu or anything. I mean, at this point, with all the rumors I've heard, it's definitely possible, and I'm really hopeful that we do. Heck, it just would feel really weird if this actually is a Mandalorian season 2.5 and 2 of the episodes are kind of surrounding Din Djarin. I mean, again, hopefully part of the episode, if that is the case, does kind of focus on Boba Fett hiring some muscle. But if I'm being completely honest, I think that's what the episode is going to surround. I think we're going to see Boba Fett hiring the muscle, and a lot of these insane cameos that we have heard could be in this are probably going to be bounty hunters that are either hiring, being hired by him, or maybe even some of the bad guys that we see trying to take him down. So I'm not really sure that we're going to go see Din visit Grogu this week, but I think at some point it is possible. Din Djarin having the Darksaber, maybe in this visit, Luke Skywalker, at this point in time, during the galaxy, at least around this point in time, we know he's looking for Jedi artifacts. I mean, what Jedi artifact is honestly cooler than the Darksaber? Let's be honest here. I mean, there's probably some that are a lot cooler, but I mean, for real though, the Darksaber is a very well-known Jedi artifact, at least by fans, especially now with The Mandalorian. So, I mean, who's to say that Luke Skywalker hasn't read some Jedi text somewhere talking about the Darksaber? And while Din Djarin has some, other engagements he has to take care of, maybe in season 3 of The Mandalorian we see Din Djarin training with Luke and learning how to wield this saber. And how freaking cool would that be? I know a lot of people have been saying we could see that in the Book of Boba Fett, but I don't think we have time. I don't think we're seeing that tonight. I think we got to spend some more time with Boba Fett. And even though I would love to spend another episode just following Din Djarin, I think we got to be realistic and we got to get back to the Boba Fett story this episode. Otherwise, I mean, You might as well have actually called this The Mandalorian Season 2.5. But that's just my opinion. Dad Matt says, so what if Boba ends up cloning himself, unaltered as he was, continuing the Fett legacy in all identical heirs? Oh no! I mean, the only thing weirder is he hooked up with Omega. Oh god. No, don't do that. Hey, Ashton, I hope you're doing well, my brother. It's good to see you. Brian Stone says Palpatine is an artifact that is more meaningful. Am I an artifact? I don't know. I guess so. Purely speculation, says Yogurt. Cad assassinates a principal character, gets the Spice War kicked off. Whew, that would be kind of cool. I like it. I like that a lot, Yogurt. I like that a lot. And maybe you are a Nicto Speeder or whatever they said earlier in the chat, but I like the speculation there, Yogurt. Speculate irresponsibly. Just Fernie says, maybe the episode is Mando and Fennec flying around recruiting the muscle, and they stop by for Grogu at the end. Bro, that would be pretty dope. That'd be pretty dope. I don't really think Fennec is going to leave Tatooine or Boba Fett at this point. I think they're kind of stuck there until the end. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, this could be setting up for Season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett at some point. Or, you know, the war to take place in The Mandalorian Season 3. But, I mean, you're not... That would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool, Just Fernie. Yogurt says, just hit me. Lor Senteca was looking for Jedi stuff with Luke during this time. Deep fake cameo. Yes. Okay, well, I don't know about Lor Senteca, but I mean, like, he definitely could appear, which be that, you know, that'd be kind of cool. But I do know in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign, we do see Luke Skywalker traveling through the galaxy looking for Jedi artifacts. And some of the stuff he finds, we even see him still having in The Last Jedi in the future. So, I mean, who's to say he doesn't, you know, he doesn't already do that? Who's to say he's not already kind of scoping around the galaxy and maybe he knows a little bit about the Darksaber? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Ashhammer says they can't just not show Mando meeting up with Luke and Grogu with a face. And dude, you're not wrong. They gotta show it. I mean, and the only way they don't show it, in my opinion, is if that kind of happens, and then at the end of this episode, you know, maybe this episode is about Boba Fett getting the muscle, hiring the muscle, and at the very end of the episode, Din Djarin comes back from his, you know, little trip to Grogu and Luke, and he's like, all right, I'm back. All of a sudden, they're in the war in the final episode, episode 7. The war has begun. It's fully going on. The odds are stacked against them. What the heck am I saying? Boba Fett is kicking some butt because I think Robert Rodriguez in episode 7 is going to do some absolute justice to the Boba Fett character. And he's going to be kicking some ass. So I think we're going to see that. Hey, Hawks. It's good to see you, Hawks Holocron. I gave you a shout out earlier for talking with Sam Witwer, bro. That was pretty dope. I don't know what I was saying before, but I think Boba Fett's going to kick some butt in that war. And I think it's possible the odds are going to be so overwhelming, and then all of a sudden, who shows up to save the day? It's Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Grogu. Now, I don't really know if that'll happen. It's probably more likely that we're going to follow Din Djarin tonight than what I just said. And I mean, I really do hope that we do see, you know, Boba Fett and Din Djarin. But to my point from earlier, I know this is totally sidetracking. Not really, but it is. With the rumors about Echo and Rex was last seen around this time period in Endor. So it's possible we could see Luke Skywalker with, you know, Han Solo and all of them on Endor still at this time period. And the other possibility of where we could see them, going back to I think it was Battlefront 2 that this happened as well, Maz Kanata's castle. We see Slave 1 parked outside of Maz Kanata's castle at some point in the Star Wars universe. And a lot of people think that that could happen in the Book of Boba. Maybe Boba Fett goes off-world with Din Djarin to go find Luke and Grogu and Maz Kanata and Han Solo and the whole gang. And I think that could totally make sense and be really cool. If it happens, it would be a total callback to what we see in the Battlefront 2 campaign, I believe. I don't really remember at this point. But I mean, come on. That would be dope to see. Han Solo, I think at that point, had a beard. And honestly, I do think we will see Luke Skywalker and Han Solo in this show. And I cannot wait to see the work that the deepfaker Shamuk, who was hired by Lucasfilm, has done. Because, I mean, I predicted this months and months ago that Shamuk was going to be hired to deepfake Han Solo and Luke. And if you go to Shamuk's channel on YouTube right now, I'll tell you what you'll see as two of the most top viewed things. It's Luke Skywalker, a better version of the deepfake that they did in The Mandalorian Season 2, and Aldrin Ehrenreich, the guy that played Han Solo in the Solo movie, looking just like Harrison Ford. And I've been saying it for forever, man. They're going to take Alden and they're going to do the deepfake Shamuk stuff with Harrison there. And they're going to conjoin the two. And Alden is still going to be playing Han Solo, but he's going to look like Harrison Ford. It's going to blow our minds. It's going to be glorious. And I think it's happening in the next 2 episodes. Oh, yes. Let me know if I'm freaking crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Maybe I'm just going mad. But that's what I think is going to happen. Bro Mega. Oh, God. Oh, Bo Mega. Oh, God. Oh. I was joking. Don't. Oh, God. Don't ever say that again. Don't you ever say that again. I will do it. Real quick, if you guys are enjoying this crazy stream, this episode 6 preview of the Book of Boba Fett, make sure to smash the like button. It helps out the channel a whole ton. And heck, if you want to support us, make sure to subscribe so that you can make sure to check out each and every live stream and video that we do. A lot of the videos that we do here on the channel are lore based and cover the latest news and whatnot. So if you want to see stuff like the full canon story of Boba Fett, which we have part 1 and part 2 up on the channel already, make sure to subscribe. Click that little bell so that when we do part 3 eventually, and every time that we do a live stream just like this, you are going to be notified. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out each and every video that we do. And I thank you very much for doing so. I hope you guys are having a good night. I wanted to make sure real quick, going into our Discord, if you guys don't know, we are doing a big Funko Pop giveaway at 500 subscribers, which is almost 50 subscribers away at this point. We're going to be giving away all 5 members of the Bad Batch and their Funko Pops, and then we're going to probably be giving away maybe an Ahsoka Clone Wars Pop, and maybe a Boba Fett Pop. Maybe a Fennec. We'll see. I don't know. We're not going to get too crazy here. It is 500 subs, and I was going to do 5 Pops initially, but it's been so long that I think we got to up the ante here. So if you guys want a chance at winning one of those Funkos, make sure to join the Discord in the description below. It's going to be the Vader's Lair Discord. Make sure to check that out. Heck, and while you're at it, last thing I want to plug real quick. Make sure, if you guys are interested, we are doing some limited Vader's Lair merch. We have one with the original Vader's Lair logo and then one with the updated logo. So if you guys are interested in buying some Vader's Lair merch, go check the link in the description below. We got some long sleeves, some hoodies, some really high quality material, to be honest. Most of the reviews we've gotten so far have been very high praises. So if you guys want some Vader's Lair merch, make sure to check the link in the description below. I thank you and I appreciate you. So the reason I did all these plugs right now, which I know a lot of people might not like the plugs, but I gotta say, the reason I did that is because of a Discord question from my boy Purple from Smalls in the chat. Now, before this, he asked me that he just watched the... So he had a question from earlier today. I'll bring this up. He says, what if the Darksaber is weird weighted because of its Beskar hilt? Now, I know a lot of the more normie fans maybe were wondering why Din Djarin was having such a hard time holding the hilt, as it seemed super heavy to him. And this is kind of the essential question Purple Mahomie is asking here. He says, does the Beskar have an effect upon the Kyber crystal? And what if the Beskar saber, or the Darksaber, is weird weighted because of its Beskar hilt? Now, I don't really think it's the Beskar that initially is weighting the saber differently. I will say I did send a link in the Discord to a video from Star Wars Rebels. Now, if you guys haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, and I mean all the old animated shows that have already come out are very, very crucial to what's going on in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett right now, especially within the Darksaber. At one point, the character known as Sabine Wren, a female Mandalorian who is best friends with the Jedi Ezra Bridger, was the wielder of the Darksaber. She had won it in combat, or actually, I don't think she did. She did win it in combat eventually, and she was the wielder of it for some time. And at one point, when she was learning to wield the Darksaber, she was training with the Jedi Kanan Jarrus, and in which she actually had a similar problem to Din Djarin, where the weight of the saber was kind of more than she could bear. Now, at one point, while she was training with Kanan, she did have a major burden that was weighing on her, and this was the burden of feeling like a failure to her family. In Star Wars Rebels, Sabine Wren was once a member of the Imperial Academy at the beginning, or mid-height of the Empire. Now, during this time that Sabine was part of the Imperial Academy, she ended up developing a weapon that was going to be used to basically target Beskar armor and end up killing hundreds of thousands of Mandalorians. Now, at some point, she did eventually destroy the weapon, kind of redeeming herself, but at this point, she still felt like a failure to her family and an outcast, as she had left her family to join the rebel crew sometime after this had happened. Now, throughout the episode, she basically brings this burden to light, and when she does, she is somewhat relieved, and eventually she goes on to say during training that the blade has become lighter, as the energy in the Kyber crystal ended up bonding with Sabine Wren. Now, if you guys don't know, in the canon of Star Wars, Kyber crystals are actually living sentient things, which is weird to think about. It really is. But they do end up bleeding, which is how the Kyber crystals end up turning red and how Sith get the red hue in their sabers. And also, there is connection to them. Now, maybe this connection depends on the user's connection to the Force, and maybe Sabine isn't as connected to the Force, and that's why the weight was only, slightly different to her, and maybe not as big of a burden as maybe what Din Djarin has weighing on him. Now, bringing it to that, Din Djarin has some very big burdens he's weighing on himself in episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett as well. If you guys remember, back in season 2 of The Mandalorian, when Grogu is handed off to Luke and he says his farewell, he promises to Grogu that he will see him again. The Mandalorian, since it's clear that he obviously was trying to get back to his covert, but I think along with that, it's very clear that he misses Grogu and wants to make that promise come a reality. Heck, even as soon as he's kind of outcasted from his covert, the first thing he does after getting a ship and talking to Fennec Shand is wanting to go see Grogu. Now, along with this, he also had another burden on him, which is the fact that he took off his helmet multiple times, which end up leading to him getting outcasted by the covert and being called an apostate. Now, he has to eventually go to the living waters of Mandalore if he wants to be redeemed in the eyes of his covert, but I'm kind of hoping that Din Djarin strays away from this covert, as they are very extremist in the Mandalorian ways, and actually, one of them was probably recast. So, she was a psychopath terrorist that worked for Darth Maul. I don't think you want to be associated with her, Din. So I'm really hoping he does eventually stray away from them. But to bring it back to the weight, I'm sure most of that weight that was bearing on him and the multiple things that were a burden on him were affecting why he could wield it. And it's possible, there's a theory out there that Din Djarin is potentially force sensitive. Now, I'm not sure that's actually true. I've never fully believed that. I felt like Grogu is the force kind of counterpart to him. But it's possible that Din Djarin does have a connection. There is some hints to it in The Mandalorian Season 2. And maybe this connection is why the Darksaber is weighing even heavier on him than it would for a character like Sabine Wren. I don't really know, though. It's possible, again, maybe in The Mandalorian Season 3 or even in the next 2 episodes, Din Djarin gets some advice and kind of training from Luke Skywalker. But I don't really know if that's actually going to happen. Now, to bring it back to Purble's question, he kind of wanted to know that nothing was explained why the blade of a Mandalorian would focus the Kyber in such a way. Well, I'm just putting it out there. Maybe Din Djarin is force sensitive. And then he also says, like, does the Beskar resonate in the force certain way that could affect how the force energy flows? Now, again, I think if anything, it's maybe the focus of the energy on kind of the connection to the user, which maybe characters like Moff Gideon aren't really, in belief of the Darksaber. And maybe part of it is just the story of the Darksaber. If you believe in it, it has more weight and, more effect upon you. And while Din Djarin doesn't even want the Darksaber, he is slowly kind of coming to the realization that it is his possession now. And he even kind of defends it against Paz Vizsla. But that's what I'm thinking. I'll get into the chat here, and then in a little bit, we're going to do Star Wars Santa's predictions. And if you guys want to do the predictions alongside me, make sure to check them out in the description below. We have a link to it right down there. So you're saying Din feels like he's failed Grogu. I think Din feels like he failed the covert that he kind of grew up living in. I think he feels like he's not really sure that giving Grogu to Luke was the best idea, as even the Darksaber itself was created by Jedi. Even though it was created by a Jedi Mandalorian, it was created by Jedi, and it has this curse surrounding it that the armor kind of told him about. And while I don't feel like the armor knows the full truth, or she's kind of bending the full truth, I feel like Din Djarin's kind of spooked by all of this, and he's worried that, Grogu could be in danger, and he was worried that he's not going to be able to live up to the promise of seeing him again. Why is gravity so heavy? Because it has the weight of the world. Mike Porter, you're blowing my mind with these dad jokes, man. What did he say? That was wild. Hawks Holocron says, I hope it's like Ebony Blade and can corrupt the user. Dude, so you're saying like the Black Knight in Marvel, right? That would be freaking dope. I kind of hope not, because that would suck for Din Djarin. But I mean, if he's not the person that should be wielding it, if he's not worthy, it's probably going to spell out bad things according to the armor. Ducky Momo says, every road... What the heck? What did he say? Every Rudy poop out there, or every Rudy poo out there, what the hell, can pick up a lightsaber and swing it like a baseball bat first try. Not 100% sure what the voodoo is on the Darksaber, but those rules are different. Yeah, it definitely is a little bit different. I don't know either, but it could just be the connection to the blade. I mean, think about it this way: I don't know why every Rudy Roo can do it, but even the Padawans of the Jedi Order don't wield a lightsaber until they trained for years at some point. I don't know. I'm just saying. By the way, in other news, I do want to bring this up real quick, along with all the Twitter stuff, and apparently Daniel Logan tweeted. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Alright, well, in other news though, For those of you that keep up with the sports world, I gotta bring this up because it's been kind of going around. The now Super Bowl quarterback Joe Burrow, who is the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, you guys will see him in the Super Bowl if you end up watching it, is apparently a big Star Wars fan, and I just found this out. Now, Joe Burrow is around my age, already going to be a very famous and wealthy man, as he was the first pick in the NFL draft at one point, and he's such a big Star Wars fan. Apparently, when he got drafted, he was still living in his room at home, and this room apparently was filled with nothing but Star Wars memorabilia. I mean, we're talking about the drapes being Star Wars, the bed sheets kind of being Star Wars. I mean, I saw a picture of this dude's room, and I know I'm talking about a sports player here, but like, dude, this guy's collection was almost as good as mine. I mean, first of all, his collection had a bunch of sequel stuff, so I was like, come on, Joe. Like, you're going to have sequel collection? But, I mean, he is on record for saying that the prequels are the best and that Star Wars is the greatest. So, I mean, big shout out to Joe Burrow. I really hope that he wins the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. Brian Stone says Din finds Grogu and then asks Luke about the Darksaber. Luke turns to Ezra and has him train Din. That would be freaking dope. I don't know, though. I feel like there's going to be some more stuff between that. I don't know if Ezra's going to exactly train Din. That's what Sabine got. What you mean? Star Wars. Oh, okay. Ashton says, aren't training sabers literally wooden sticks? Probably. I don't remember. I honestly don't know. He has Luke underoos too? Why are you talking about Luke's underwear? What do you mean? Star Wars 95 says, I don't think Din even makes it off Tatooine to visit Grogu because they get attacked, sparking the war with the Pikes. That would suck, but it would make a lot of sense, and then that would be why Din Djarin doesn't see Grogu in episode 3. But I mean, come on, he's got the N1. He could literally go see Luke and Din in like 2 parsecs and be back. You know what I'm saying? Jared Dyer says, Burrow, the real MVP for saving us from seeing Brittany and Jackson Mahomes at the Super Bowl. Oh, you ain't gotta say that, Jared. I mean, Jared, if you want to go that far, Joe Burrow is the real MVP for making Tom Brady retire. I mean, what a career, man. Lost to the Giants twice in the Super Bowl. What a guy Joe Burrow is, though. I mean, Tom Brady even says it's time for the next generation to have a chance to win. Because, I mean, there's no way Tom Brady was going to be a Star Wars fan like Joe Burrow. I mean, come on. Only Ray can do that. Right, Din does have the fastest starfighter in the Outer Rim. That's what I'm saying. He could literally be there and back like SpongeBob in that episode where he has super speed. Later, Brady. Hey, yeah, bye-bye to that guy, right? Gonna be dead faster than Bib Fortuna. Oh, what? I didn't mean dead, but like his career, like whatever. Good riddance. Lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl too. Yeah, he did. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I know Aaron Rodgers is a big original trilogy fan, but that's why Joe Burrow's the GOAT, man. He's a prequel fan, man. What a guy. All right. Let's get into the Chapter 6 predictions for Star Wars Santa. I want to do it real quick because I want to beat Star Wars Santa. I know so far we've gone pretty wild on these, I gotta say. So hopefully we don't get too wild tonight. You know. But let's keep it realistic. Let's get these episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett predictions going. Previewing. Doing the Star Wars Santa predictions. Let's get it. Boom. Alright. Here we go. The Book of Boba Fett predictions with Star Wars Santa. Make sure to put your screen name. I know some of you guys have some hard time remembering to do that. So, you know, Sheev the Wise right there. That's the name. I gotta say, with all the content creators not knowing what the heck to expect with episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, this is gonna be the hardest prediction to do so far. Which of the leaks will happen tonight? What's gonna happen? Who are we gonna see? Who's gonna be the big cameo? I don't know. But the first question is, Boba Fett kills someone. And damn it, Santa, I don't like that you've been asking us this every week because I don't know. I mean, are we even going to see an episode with Boba Fett in it? Last week we didn't see him at all. So is Boba Fett going to kill someone? Well, first question I think you should have put, is Boba Fett going to be in the episode? If Boba Fett's in the episode, yeah, he's going to kill somebody. I think I got to reach deep in my soul here. Deep in my soul with these predictions. I got to keep it realistic. I think it's possible we could see both. I think it's possible. So are we going to see Boba Fett? Yes. And that means he's going to kill somebody. So yes. Yes. Number one, I'm saying Boba Fett's going to kill somebody. I think we're going to see him. I think the war might even start. I'm really hoping this episode is over 50 minutes. But let me know in the chat if you guys think this episode will be over or under 50 minutes. Let me know in the chat. Number two, Fennec kills someone. So if Boba Fett's going to kill somebody, Fennec's going to kill somebody too. I mean, I know there's one episode where she didn't and he did or something. But I mean, come on now. The war's going to begin, right? I mean, so yes, Fennec and Boba Fett are going to kill somebody. I think so. I do think so. Oser and Unser. I don't know who those are. RF Gaming Channel says, just keep your predictions realistic. Jesus. Josh was wilding out today. I know. I know he was. Josh is always wilding out. I ain't that wild. I promise. It definitely makes things more interesting. No matter what I pick from, I won't make the Wall of Fame. Don't worry, Daniel Fisher. I think you could this week. And Ducky, I think I'm going to beat you this week. I will do it. It's a Dawn joke? Oh, Oser and Unser? Yes. Yes. I mean, Josh loves his over and unders and his percentages in math because, I mean, if you guys didn't know, Josh went to school for film. He went to film school. So, of course, he loves his overs and unsers. We see a flashback scene is number 3. And this is an excellent question. You know, we kind of had been following the flashbacks through the majority of this season through Boba Fett being in the bacta tanks. And I want to bring you guys back to episode 4. I mean, we had a flashback to all 4 episodes at the beginning of the season. And then when Boba Fett is done healing with the he's done with the flashbacks. He's done with his bactas because, the droid says you're fully healed. Fennec Shan says to him, but what about the scars on the inside? And Boba Fett says those heal with time. Now, I thought at this point that we would be done with the flashbacks and with the flashbactas. But then in episode 5, a Din Djarin episode that had absolutely nothing to do with Boba Fett, at least from certain people's point of view, we still got a flashback. We have had a flashback every week. So, I mean, is it possible that those wounds are still going to be healing and we're going to see it? I mean, think about it. I mean, every episode we've had flashbacks and everything pretty much has been paid off at this point except who the big bad of the series is, who Boba Fett's going to hire, if we're going to see Luke and Grogu, and then what the heck the Camino flashbacks are doing in this show. Because, I mean, there's been no resolution, nothing really referring to the flashback that Boba has had other than really, leading to his time with the Tuskens and finding family within them and everything. But I think it's possible Boba Fett has familial ties to the clones and everything still, so maybe we'll see them through it. But are we going to get more flashbacks resolving what we see with these clone stuff and with the flashbacks to Camino? I think we will. I think we will. I think we're going to see some more flashbacks. And maybe they're going to be all the way back to Geonosis again, where we're going to see Mace Windu maybe cut off his dad's head. I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little wild here. But I think we've had flashbacks every week so far. Every episode so far. So, I mean, there isn't a lot of time in this episode, but you know that they love to spend time in flashbacks. So I think that we will see a flashback scene. I think we will. Next week will be a Kenobi episode, so yes, true Inception. You're blowing my mind, Dad Matt. Holy crack. Chris Pewitt says, did we get a flashback in episode 5? Maybe I'm forgetting something. Yes, Chris Pewitt, we actually did get a flashback in episode 5. It was the flashback to the Night of 1,000 Tears. Now, it didn't come the same way with the flashback does, but Chris Pewitt, remember, that was a flashback where we saw what happened during the Night of 1,000 Tears and Mandalore blowing up. So, yeah, we actually did see a flashback. It was crazy. Actually, one of the craziest flashbacks we've seen so far. They showed the Night of 1,000 Tears, Chris. Yeah. Yes. Then you realize you're dreaming. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Dad Matt, that would absolutely be Inception. You know, I dream of Boba Fett and Kenobi series every night, so I get you. They start to blend. Sheev the Smart, says Sozu Sozin. I don't know. I'm just Sheev the Wise, man. I'm just Sheev the Wise. We got a flashback. What do you think? Star Wars 95 says, the Darksaber could call out to Jango's clone, Boba. If Cad Bane shows up, he could defeat Din, then Boba could disarm Cad with the custom Gaffy and uses the Tusken form with the saber. Tatooine equals New Mandalore! Alright, so Star Wars 95, yes, I love that. I've had a theory for quite some time that Din Djarin might feel like he's not fit for it. At least with this past episode 5, I've had this theory. With the whole scene of the armorer talking about the songs of eons past foretold the story of the mythosaur rising up to lead a new age of Mandalore. Well, what if Boba Fett gets the Darksaber? What if, as you said, he unites the Mandalorians, becomes the Mandalore once again like he did in Legends, and then it would make sense why this Din Djarin episode is in the show, and we could see him bringing the Mandalorian people together on their new homeworld of Tatooine, the new Mandalore. What do you think? I like it. I like your idea there. Star Wars 95, I had the same kind of idea, and that was actually one of my predictions for the end of this. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Right, Din wants to be a father and has that quest. Yeah, it's possible. He didn't even really want the saber at first. Although I'm really thinking that this is Din Djarin's story to become the Mandalore, but I don't know. Cat a major babe. Oof, Cat is an absolute babe. Why is the Crimson Speedster so fast? He goes back in time because all we see is flashbacks. That's pretty funny, Mike Porter. That fits with the theory I told Ashton today, LOL, says Tim. Yo, I love it, Tim. You gotta tell me about it. Boba wants to rule with respect. Yes, he does. And Mando has a lot of the same kind of views as him. Something I think could happen, because I still think, honestly, that Mando is the Mandalorian. He's gonna become the Mandalore, I think. But I think on this path, after he lost Grogu, he was searching for kind of meaning again, because that became his meaning. Grogu became his, adopted son. And he was gone. What else was he supposed to do now? Well, I guess he had nothing to do but to go back to his covert, and that's what he knew, because that's how he grew up. That was the only life he really had, was bounty hunting and the covert. And that's what he does. He goes straight back to bounty hunting and the covert. But then we see in this episode all the little changes that have come since he's gotten the Darksaber. How he doesn't want to kill everybody when he gets to the scene, but he's just there for his bounty. He's just wanting the information to find the covert. And then, he gets kicked out of the covert. And he wants a Razor Crest. He wants his Razor Crest back, but to change again. Now he has an N1 Naboo Starfighter, which is not going to be able to carry any cargo or, any bounties anymore. So I think he's still set up to become the Mandalore. And I honestly think his story so far has paralleled Boba Fett's very similarly. Nothing about it. Boba Fett talked about in episode 4 how he was going to leave the bounty hunting life behind. He actually does leave the bounty hunting life behind. But he was ready to maybe even leave that behind before he, joined up with the Tuskens. But, the fact that he got eaten by the Sarlacc and everything, he talks about, all these idiots that hire him, and they're just going to get him killed. And I mean, when you think about it, think back to all these bounty hunters. I mean, back with Jango Fett, he's being hired to fight against, some of the greatest Jedi, and he gets decapitated. I mean, think of Boba Fett getting eaten by the Sarlacc and nearly dying hundreds of times throughout the comics and all these sorts of stuff. I mean, Din Djarin in the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian nearly dies almost every episode, damn it. I mean, the guy is fantastic, but he almost dies all the time. It's very close to death. I mean, so he's very similar to Boba Fett in the fact that I don't know if bounty hunting is really the life for these dudes. Like, at some point, it's going to get them killed. So Boba has risen up beyond that to become the dude in charge. And I think he's going to kind of sway Din Djarin, hey, this responsibility has been, fallen to you. You should take hold of it. He sees, the leadership and the man that Din Djarin can amount to, and it reminds him of his father. And we even get it back in season 2 of The Mandalorian after the Razor Crest initially blew up. Boba Fett's staring at Din, and there's this moment where he's looking at him, and Din is grabbing the Beskar spear from the ashes of what is left, if anything at all, of his former ship. And I mean, he sees something. He sees that, the leadership to become Mandalore and Din Djarin. And I think they're going to have a conversation by the end of this season that's going to lead to Din Djarin in The Mandalorian season 3 trying to become the Mandalore. But I hope. Brian Stone says, who plays Cad Bane? And that is an excellent question. I really don't know. I'm kind of hoping Brandon Wayne, the guy that does the stunt and kind of movements and likeness of Din Djarin outside of Pedro Pascal. And then there's one other dude that does some stunts too. But I'm really hoping that Brandon Wayne does, because he's actually the grandson of John Wayne, a very legendary kind of actor from back in the day who did a lot of Western stuff. So he's very well known as a cowboy and everything. So I'm hoping his grandson now, Brandon Wayne, could maybe play him. And then I've heard rumors that he's still going to be voiced by the voice actor from the Clone Wars. So maybe they'll bring in the Clone Wars guy to play him, but I'm really hoping it's Brandon Wayne or something like that. Although it is supposed to be, Cad Bane at this point would be about 70 years old or so. So maybe not, but we'll see. Charlie Smith says, are you Team Jedi or Team Mandalorian? Whew. Man, that is a tough question, Charles Smith. I mean, I got to get going on these predictions here, but can I be both? Can I be like Tar Vizsla or like Grogu or something? I don't want to choose between being a Mandalorian or a Jedi. I mean, in one culture, depending on if you're, within the Children of the Watch sect, I have to wear my helmet all the time. And the other, I got taken away from my parents as a very young child to the point where I probably don't even remember my parents. And now I have to grow up in this Jedi religion that I didn't really have a choice of being a part of. I mean, I really wouldn't know any better. I would go Team Jedi. I'll be Team Jedi. The Jedi are so cool. Come on. I mean, the Mandalorians look cooler, but the Jedi, I mean, come on. What's better than having a laser sword? A friggin' lightsaber, man? Come on. Maybe Clint Eastwood, says Ashton. Yo, I was on the Clint Eastwood train. I really wanted Cad Bane to be played by Clint Eastwood for a long time, but I don't think it's going to happen. HOA says, yeah, because I cannot see anyone else voicing Cad Bane. Myself would be a Jedi-Lorian. That's what I'm saying, HOA. Mace is walking around on Tython still, looking for the wise kid who called him on the Seeing Stone. Yes, I would love that. And Boba finds out and he's like, what? The guy that killed my father? Cad Bane twin with Cad Babe, played by Gina. I don't know about that. Nigo Ross, oh my god, what? You might want to change that name. It says, I might have had the scene wrong, but the last scene with Danny Trejo looked like he was gonna betray Boba to me. I don't know why. I don't think so, Nago Ra. Hawk said, did you already talk about if it was a Luke clone. No, I've never talked about that actually. There is a theory from the Heir to the Empire novels that the Luke that we saw in the Mandalorian was actually a clone of Luke. Now, this happens in the Heir to the Empire storylines when a character named Sabaoth, who is like a Force-sensitive clone and looks like Luke, I believe, actually fights Luke at one point. Kind of like, the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. I don't think so. I don't think it'll be a Luke clone. If that's what you're talking about, Hawks, I don't think so. It'll be 47 minutes confirmed, says Luke Miller. Since when? Who says this? Where'd you find that, Luke Miller? What's the source? Eastwood would be a dream casting for real. Yeah, Daniel Fisher, it really would be. I don't think we'll see Clint Eastwood. I would love to, but the dude's in his 90s. It would be a little bit of a reach. He's super old. Yeah, he is. Unless you're talking about someone else. But yeah, Eastwood is super old. Number 4 here. Yes, I think there's going to be flashback scenes. We'll get back into these predictions. Number 4 is we see the Slave One fire spray gunship. So if we do end up going to Maz Kanata's castle, I think we'll definitely see the Slave One. If Boba Fett's in the episode, I think we'll probably see Slave One. But I also think we've seen all the Slave One footage to this point. So will we see the Slave One? I don't think Boba's going off-world. I think Maz Kanata's castle thing, that's kind of hopeful. So number 4, will we see Slave One? I'm probably... Excuse me. Actually, now that I think about it, I was about to put no, and then I remembered that I said flashbacks were going to be in this right before that. And we've already seen the Slave One in many flashbacks already, so yes, we will see Slave One, aka the fire spray gunship, but it's really known as Slave One. Come on. Number 5, Boba and/or Fennic recruit more muscle. Yes, I do think we're going to see Boba recruiting some more muscle in this episode. At least I'm really hopeful we do. If it's a Din Djarin episode, I'll be happy. I'll tell you that. Number 6, war breaks out with the Pikes. I feel like I asked to maybe start this episode, right? Number 6, will war break out in this episode? I think it'll happen episode 7. It could be brief, and it could even last to the Mandalorian season 3, so no. I don't think the war is going to break out just yet, but I think we're going to have the last setups, maybe the beginning of it. Number 7, Boba and/or Fennic goes off-world of Tatooine. And since I said Slave One, I might want to say yes, just because that way I'm doubling up my points, but maybe I hedge here. I don't know. Boba and... I love that he puts and/or Fennic. Yeah, Boba and/or Fennic. So we got Boba, Cassian... No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I'll say they'll go off-world. We'll go with the whole Maz Kanata's castle bit, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. We see another clone, Rex, Bad Batch, etc. So based on the predictions we're doing, we're predicting we'll go probably more towards the Maz Kanata's castle kind of thing at this point. And if we see another clone, I think that would be more the Endor kind of prediction kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go no. I don't think we're actually gonna see any clones or Bad Batch in this episode, but I think it's possible they could tie in at the end. Having this being, such a Boba Fett kind of family and him searching for a bond kind of this season. At least it seems like it, right? Number 9 is Boba rides a Rancor. Now, this has been kind of teased. There was some kind of spoilers and, this kind of leaked out way back a couple months ago that Boba was going to be riding a Rancor in the series. And I think it makes sense as to why, but I honestly don't think we're going to see Boba riding a Rancor yet. I think if it happens, maybe it'll happen in episode 7. Maybe it happens tonight. I mean, I think he honestly might have been training last week when we were catching up with Din Djarin. So maybe we see Boba riding a Rancor? I mean, it's Dave Filoni's episode tonight. I really don't know what to expect. If Omega comes into this, I definitely think he'll be riding a Rancor. But I don't think we see him riding a Rancor tonight. Maybe he does. I mean, if it's not going to follow Din Djarin tonight, it's definitely going to have Boba riding a Rancor. I'll tell you that. Bosk cameo, yes or no? Let me know in the chat. do you guys think we're going to see Boss tonight? Yes or no? I'm going to do a poll. Will we see Bosk in episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett? Ducky Momo says Maz Kanata and Peli fight to the death over a jealous Jawa love interest. I would love to see that, to be honest. That would be awesome. Kendall, aka the Sensei, what is up, my good friend? Hey, Master Kunch, it is good to see you here. If you guys don't already follow Kendall, aka the Sensei, go follow Normies to Nerds. I hope you're doing good, my friend. Night Owl says Boba will win a Bantha race in episode 6. Night Owl, you're probably not wrong, my friend. We gotta see Boss, says Tim. Yeah, Bosk is actually one of the longest rumored characters to be in this show around the time that we had heard Din Djarin, Grogu, and Luke Skywalker were going to be in the show. We actually had heard around that time that Bosk was going to be in the episode as well. So I think it's possible all of them could be in this episode. I'm going to go yes. Number 11 is an Ewok cameo. And I don't think we're going to see an Ewok cameo. The basis of this is that Tamura Morrison said it was fun to work with Ewoks, but I think he may have been confused with Jawas. It seemed a little weird because, I mean, the pictures of the Ewoks were literally right in front of his face, and they were corresponding with the names of them. But it seems like he mixed up Jawas with Ewoks, and we do know that he worked with Jawas already. So I'm going to say no Ewoks. Number 12, Luke Skywalker cameo. Number 12 is Luke Skywalker cameo. Will we see the Luke Skywalker cameo in episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett? Yes, we will. Yes, I think we will. I think we'll see it. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see it. Boba recruits every bounty hunter ever. Ashton, that would be wild. Unless Luke is on Endor, says Ducky Momo. He could be. He could be. That would suck. Sniff, sniff. I smell profit. Sozu, it is absolute profit. I mean, come on. Imagine if it's Ewoks mixed with Grogu. I mean, they're going to sell money up the wazoo. Nago says, I think we see Mace in a season 2. Nago, I do too. I like that. Goat says, I think the Crimson Dawn are at play, and I think Han is with Luke, or Han is captured by the Pikes. Goat, you're maybe, I like that. I like that. The Pikes do have a history with Han Solo, as well as many others, so I mean, it'd be pretty wild. Daniel Fisher, what's up? This is perfect. The Hondo. Oh, dude, if Hondo shows up, that would be friggin' wild. That would be wild. Sozu says, so crazy how the Hondo versus, what the heck? What? What? Hondo versus Winnie the Pooh? What? Ashton says, I mean, why would they pass up on a chance to have Bosk and Black K 1v1? Well, that's the thing. I wonder how they would react to working together if he hires both of them. So number 12 is Luke Skywalker cameo. I'm going to say yes. 89% of you guys say that we're going to see Boss. So let me know in the chat if you think we're going to see Luke Skywalker tonight. Let me know in the chat. Will we see Luke Skywalker tonight? And then we're going to do a poll as soon as this one lets me do another one. Will Luke Skywalker be in tonight's episode? Let me know in the chat. I'm putting yes on the thing. I'm saying yes, but let me know what you guys think. Will Luke Skywalker be in episode 6? Will we get a Luke Skywalker cameo? Now, to correspond with number 12, we have number 13. Will there be a Grogu cameo? Now, obviously, if we're seeing Luke Skywalker, we gotta see Grogu. I mean, the whole point of Din going to see Grogu is to see Grogu, right? So I think we will see Grogu. It's probably even more likely than Luke Skywalker. I mean, come on now. I think we're definitely seeing Luke Skywalker and Grogu in this episode, but let me know what you guys think. The poll right now, 89% of you guys say yes, we will see Luke in the episode. That's pretty lit. That's pretty lit. Hey, Steve Staranka, it's good to see him. He says, can't wait to see Luke tonight. Not a typo. Ooh, so Steve Staranka thinks it's going to be the clone of Luke. Now, Sabayoth did go by Luke, so that is pretty freaking cool. Ooh, that's dope. My bad. My girl works at a Funko store, and they have the, like, Clone Trooper Funkos right now. I need them. I need those Clone Trooper Funkos. My bad. Gotta get Grogu that chainmail. Yeah, Sozu, they gotta get Grogu that chainmail. Exactly. Nago says, the thing that makes me not believe that Han Solo rumor is that people are saying it's Harrison Ford. I don't think he would ever come back. Nago, if you were offered millions of dollars, I don't know about millions, but a couple 100,000 even, to be in Star Wars for maybe a couple of minutes, you don't think you would do it? Heck, they don't even have to fully use him. They can use Alden, change his voice around, and just use the likeness of Harrison Ford. He doesn't even have to do a lick of acting. He doesn't. Shamuk is that good, my friend. So, I mean, a couple 100,000 to just use his face. Come on, man. They gotta do it. They gotta do it. Do it. Hey, Jason Strobe, my friend. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yes, says Goat. Greatest of all time, you already know. Hey, I did not know Joe Burrow was in the chat. Joe Burrow, it is good to see you, Goat. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I know you got the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks, but Goat, it is good to see you, Joe. It is good to see you, Joe Burrow. Now, on a serious note, though, if somehow Joe Burrow does end up watching this, seriously, bro, I hope you win the Super Bowl, man. Go Joe Burrow. Go Bengals. How long until they show up? I mean, I hope they show up right away. CT0420 says, bring Bucky as Luke and have Hamill do the voice. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So if you guys don't know, CT0420 here is referring to Sebastian Stan, the actor for Bucky Barnes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's saying he looks like Mark Hamill, which is a very big known thing. Mark Hamill himself has even kind of, nodded to it. I mean, a whole bunch of Star Wars fans would love to see Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. Sebastian Stan, play Luke Skywalker. And having him with Shamuk and Mark Hamill kind of combine them together, that would be freaking mind-blowing. I would love it. I would freaking love it if they use Sebastian Stan and Alden. They're such great actors, and they could definitely emulate it. Mark Hamill has even given his blessing for Sebastian Stan to play the character of Luke Skywalker. So make it happen, Disney. Do it. Do it, Dave. Do it. Shamuk's Han Solo deepfake over Alden is unreal. Dude, Sozin, I'm telling you, bro. Oh, it's happening. It's got to happen. I can't wait to see. And, dude, think about it this way, too. For those of you guys that have seen the Shamuk deepfakes, he's doing this on his home computer. He's doing this at home. Now, I don't know what kind of, stuff he has, the algorithms he has or whatever to create these incredible deepfakes. But, I mean, imagine what Shamuk can do with Disney money. The possibilities are endless. They can clone sheep forever. Bringing Mark Hamill to life will be easier than a snap of my fingers. Shamuk, you will bring forth a new age of Disney Star Wars that shall revive the character of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia Organa. Do it. Do it. Bring Bana? Oh, bring Bane. Yes. So one of the biggest kind of rumors I haven't really talked about too much tonight. I've been hoping this for a long time for episode 6, talking about Dave Filoni bringing in cameo characters. It's highly possible Dave is going to bring somebody from his animated shows back to live action. And the character I want to see the most in the Book of Boba Fett more than anybody is Cad frickin' Bane. Now, Cad Bane was rumored a little bit after the Bosk rumor, and it was once rumored that Cad Bane would be working along Kira, the former leader of Crimson Dawn, or at least the maybe even still leader of Crimson Dawn from the Solo series, or the Solo movie. It's possible that Kira could have Cad Bane as her right-hand man, or that Cad Bane maybe even gets hired by Boba. Don't do that, please. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We could see Cad Bane. I'm really hoping that Dave Filoni does bring his beloved bounty hunting cowboy back into the Star Wars universe. It would be so cool to see Cad Bane in live action, however they pull it off. Even if he is 70 years old, I think we need a rematch of the unfinished Clone Wars arc that told the story in which Cad Bane mentors Boba Fett. They fight some Tuskens. They do a couple bounties together. And then at the end of it, the two have a standoff in which Boba Fett shoots Cad Bane in the face. And Cad Bane puts the dent in Boba Fett's helmet. Now, this arc may have been unfinished, but there is a big nod to it in the Star Wars show that we know as The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch brought Cad Bane back to television after 9 years of him being away. And now with him finally being back, I've been predicting since way back in May of last year when The Bad Batch was popping off that we could potentially see Cad Bane versus Boba Fett fight each other once more. Now, with the opportunity of Dave Filoni bringing back potentially that character in the episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, oh my God, it would be absolutely perfection if they do. I would love to see Cad Bane. So I heard John and Dave wrote 6 together, says Sozu Sozin. And yes, from what I've heard, Dave Filoni wrote the episode and John did end up helping him kind of write it, or, writing it with him. And as far as we know, we don't really know exactly who the director for tonight's episode is, but there was a point, I believe, Tamura Morrison did say that Dave Filoni directed an episode. So it's highly possible, the two of them might have wrote the episode together. But it is Dave Filoni's probably directed episode. CT0420 said 4 months ago, Lucasfilm supposedly wanted to do it. I want a live action Rebels. Yes, CT0420, at one point a while ago, Lucasfilm was talking about developing a sequel to the Rebels show. And I believe at that point it had been talked about as an animated sequel to Rebels. And then there was talks of it being a live action show. And now, kind of from what we can put together and kind of hope, it's likely that the Ahsoka live action show that is going to be filming right now, probably, or it's February. So the Ahsoka show is probably filming within the next month. And it's very possible that the Ahsoka series is either going to be a live action spin-off of Star Wars Rebels, or could potentially even lead into a sequel of Star Wars Rebels that is put in live action. So CT0420, I freaking cannot wait. Star Wars Rebels is one of my favorite elements of Star Wars ever, and I would love to see the characters in live action. All right, 25 votes on this poll. Will Luke Skywalker be in the episode? 84% of you guys say yes, and I think so too. I freaking hope that we do, but don't set your expectations too high. Put them pretty low. And when we see Luke Skywalker and Grogu, oh my God, it's going to be so good. If you guys don't know, we're doing a watch party at 11:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. So make sure to be there. And make sure to be there so that we can all watch the greatness of Luke Skywalker returning once more. And see our little green friend Grogu. Number 14 is Cobb Vanth cameo. And no, I don't think we're going to see Cobb Vanth tonight. I do think we will see him at some point, though, as he did at one point own Boba Fett's armor, and he was rumored to be in the Rangers of the New Republic show that was once in development. Who knows if it still is. But will we see Cobb Vanth the cameo? No, I don't think we will. From what I've actually heard, the rumor is that Cobb Vanth will be in episode 7, the finale. Maybe we see him in tonight's episode and then again in the finale, but I don't think we're going to be getting a Cobb Vanth cameo tonight. I mean, heck, there's supposed to be so many cameos tonight, right? Or it's going to be an insane amount or whatever. Maz Kanata cameo! I'm not going to hedge my bet on this too much. I don't think we'll actually see Maz Kanata, but that would be a freaking wild cameo. That would be pretty insane. I'm okay with getting this one wrong if I do, but wow, would it be pretty wild. Number 16 and 17. Kira cameo and Cad Bane cameo. Will we see Kira in this, and will we see Cad Bane? Yes, I do think we will. I think they probably are the big bats. I mean, I'm not trying to get too hyped here again, but I'm probably gonna lose some points. I probably am. I mean, I suck at doing these predictions. I'm gonna lose to Star Wars Santa again. But yeah, I do think we will. I mean, I heard from Nick Santos that we're going to be seeing a whole bunch of cameos and it's going to be insane. So yeah. And heck, number 18 is Han Solo cameo. Yes, I think we're going to see Han Solo tonight. It's probably going to happen. I mean, come on. Shamuk, you can do it. Number 19, the Crimson Dawn is mentioned. And if Kira is going to be in the episode, Crimson Dawn is likely to be mentioned as well, especially since we're kind of in the criminal underworld of it all. I think it's going to happen. So, the last part of Star Wars Santa's predictions, number 20, is kind of a free-for-all. He says, you guessed something in the episode. Note, it must be a legitimate guess. No freebie answers this season. Well, I don't really think this is a freebie, but I think we're going to see Din Djarin visit Grogu and Luke Skywalker. So I think I'm going to put Din Djarin gives Grogu his gift. Boom. I have submitted my week 6, chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett answers. This has been pretty lit, man. I hope you guys are following along. I hope you guys did your own predictions. Let's get into the lair. Any final thoughts on the preview for the episode 6 of the Book of Boba? And then we'll get on out of here. But let's get it. Let's get back to the lair. Boom. All right. So, as I said, let me know in the chat your final thoughts for the episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. I think tonight's episode is going to be freaking wild. I'm highly expecting Dave Filoni's episode to be a crazy one. And I think it might even set up a lot more stuff in The Mandalorian Season 3. Let me know what you guys think in the chat about this episode. Heck, if you are watching on the replay, let me know if you think... Heck, just let me know what you think is going to happen. Do you think we're going to go, follow Din Djarin again? Is it going to be 2 back-to-back episodes of Din Djarin going off on these crazy adventures? Are we going to see Luke Skywalker? Do you think that we could see Grogu and him? Or do you think that Boba's going to hire some muscle? And who do you think that muscle will be? Let me know in the chat. I need to see Bane! Yes, do it. Sozin says Sam Witwer and other insiders are hyping the hell out of the next 2 episodes. Yes, dude. I mean, come on. These 2 episodes are going to be insane. Heck, I'll even check the Star Wars Reddits real quick to make sure I didn't miss any breaking news while we were streaming. But we'll get into chat here too. Ooh, Knights of Ren backstory. Just some dummies. Alright, RF Gaming Channel says we'll see Din arrive to Grogu, then show will be all Boba and Mando arrives at the end. That would be awesome, RF. I would still be very happy with that, and I really am hoping too that we see a little bit of both. Ashhammer says imagine they just drop off the gift subplot and then we'll never find out what it is. Laughing. Dude, nah, we'll definitely find out. So much going on in my brain. Hey, Hawks, me too. All week it's been that way. I haven't even been able to think straight because the only thing I can think about is this episode. I do hope we see Cobb Vanth again, says Nago. Yeah, Nago Ra, I do think that we will see Cobb Vanth again, and probably sooner rather than later. Brian says, give everyone... Hey, gotta go. He says, hey, Brian Stone, thank you for being here, my friend. It is always good to see you around in the chat. I hope you have a great rest of your night, Brian Stone. Much love. Jedi Jen says, gonna get on home before the snow starts, so I'll be watching the replay, but caught the tail end, so I wanted to say hi to everyone. Hey, Jedi Jen, thank you for making it in. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy tonight's episode. We're gonna be doing the watch party later, so if you're staying up for the episode, or it's comes out at a reasonable time for you, I hope you come on by, Jedi Jen, and I hope you enjoy it. If not, much love for being here. Sozu Sozin says, I think Luke will lecture Din on the ways of the Jedi and how Grogu shouldn't be attached. I don't know though, Sozu, because Luke has attachments himself, so it's just about being able to, not give in to the temptations of the dark side, I think, truly. Steve Starenka says, episode's going to start with Grogu doing forced meditation and then drop something. Then Luke come in and say, do or do not. There is no try. Then Mando shows up. That would be pretty cool. I would love to see some interaction with Din and Luke before Mando gets there. That would be freaking dope. Tim? I don't need no insiders to be hyped. Hey. No, I know, Tim. We don't need no insiders. Of course not. Of course not. We don't need no insiders to be hyped, but it's still pretty hyped. Sozu Sozin says, Din going to visit Luke and Grogu, and Boba recruiting more muscle. Yes, I'm really hoping so too, Sozu. CT0420 says, I hope I see Boba in the Book of Boba tonight. CT0420, me too. I really hope we do get some Boba Fett, because I don't want to follow around Din Djarin the whole time. I love Din Djarin even more so than Boba, but if you're going to give me a Din Djarin show, then you might as well give me Mandalorian Season 3, or just title it Mandalorian Season 2.5. I'm sure Cobb wants the Pikes gone too. Yeah, Nago, I think so. You're definitely on the right track there. Ashton says, facts, my power might be out tonight. Getting 20 inches here. Ooh, damn, the snow is real bad on that side, huh? Hey, I hope you guys are safe out there. Stay safe, stay safe. CT0420 says, I'll see ya at the watch party, Sheev. Hey, much love, CT. I hope you have a good one. Sozu says, that's true, Sheev, but we gotta see some saber training. Sozu, I think, honestly, we could see the saber training in Season 3 of Mando. Just putting it out there. Wizard. Yes, wizard indeed. I think tonight's episode is going to be pretty wizard. Ashhammer says, that's what Padme said. I knew Anakin's lower half was superior. Oh man, Ashton, that's pretty good. Book of Babu Frick? Hey, Sozu, I would watch that. I would watch that for sure. Ashton says, haven't snowed here yet, but it will. Ooh, oh, it's gonna start soon. Okay. Well, be safe out there tonight. Hope you guys are good. How long until the episode, says Mr. Salamancer? Yeah, Mr. Salamancer. Mr. Salamancer, it is currently 7:40, just about, p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The episode comes out at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so it is a little over 4 hours and 20 minutes until the episode. With that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Make sure to enjoy yourselves with 4 hours and 20 minutes left. I will see you at the watch party later. Be here. It's going to be around 11:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know last week I almost overslept, but I promise I will not be doing that. I don't think we'll see if I take a nap. I probably do need to take one, but I don't know. We'll see if it happens. But I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you for the watch party later. If you guys did enjoy yourselves, make sure to smash like on the like button. It helps out a lot. I know it's such a little small action. You just gotta take your finger if you're on your phone and click the little like, or scroll down if you're on your YouTubes on your computer, and just barely you just click the button. Heck, you could even destroy the like button if you really want to. You just do it for me, all right? Just take the smash like, smash it. Just do it. Thank you guys, though. Along with smashing the like button if you're new here, a big welcome to you. Thank you for being here. If you could, and if you like the content, make sure to subscribe for more Star Wars content just like it. I promise we're probably not always this crazy. I mean, who am I kidding? We're always this crazy, but I mean, this is a very exciting time to be a Star Wars fan, so make sure to subscribe, as 2022 is going to be filled with a whole bunch of Star Wars content. Next week's episode is probably going to be even crazier than tonight's, but I think Dave Filoni is going to blow our minds tonight. So buckle up, get ready for it, because it's going to be a wild ride. I hope you guys have a good one. Make sure to join the Discord in the description below. That's where we're gonna be doing giveaways. Our first giveaway is gonna be at 500 subscribers. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a good one, and may the Force be with you always. Peace out, guys. Spoilers are quite operational. For anybody that's in doubt, I'm just gonna leave you with this. I think we're gonna see quite a lot of things tonight. If I have to put any money on anything, I think we're gonna see Grogu, Luke, possibly Han Solo, most likely the Empire Strikes Back lineup, including Bosk, Dengar, maybe IG-88, and I think it's possible we see Cad Bane and find out who the real big bad behind the Pikes is. But who knows? That's just what I think. Again, I am part of the spoiler and leak community, so I do have a little bit of knowledge, but not too much. I don't think anybody really knows what's going to be happening tonight, but that is part of the excitement of this time of being a Star Wars fan. Thank you guys for joining, though, and if you subscribed, a big thank you to you. I really do appreciate all of the support. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you at 11:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 6, Watch Party. Much love.